we're going to do is we're going to do some basic side control bottom stuff. But what I want to show you, we're going to do escapes. I'm going to show you escapes. We're going to go from, we're going to kind of go backwards. We're going to go from really, really bad position to better position, okay? What we're going to try to do is try and blend what we're doing with the escapes in with what we do to retain guard, okay? So instead of just thinking about the escapes as like 100% bad position, we're going to actually blend it in with the rest of it. It's like what I was trying to say to people when we do escapes is like, it's more about like the transitions between like them passing your guard and them getting the pin. That's like most of your fight. It's most of your scrap, right? So let's start anyway with just Liam, like bad position for me. I'm going to leave my hands on the outside in here. And there's a couple of reasons that this is a bad position for me. But first of all, there's nothing I can do with these hands that is going to, as long as they're out here, that's going to be positive. And what you see a lot with beginners is they connect their hands and they do a lot of his work for them. They squeeze, they grab here and they hold their opponent on. Now, is there a time to do this? Sometimes, like I always say, there's a time to do this when the clock is running out and you're 10 seconds to go, you're up on points and the guy's here and you go like this. You keep your feet up off the mat and you just go like this. Don't let him get any points, don't let him go anywhere. And then, match is over. But let's not assume that we've got a timer. We need to be able to escape this position, and if our hands are on the outside, there's nothing really I can do with them. The second thing is, if I'm in a really defensive position here like this, I'm just going to keep my feet up off the mat, my knees up touching Lee's ribs here like this. Reason being for that is Lee can just place his knee on the belly at any stage here, and come up if he wants to, or even just step over into mount, as long as my legs are flat. Once I do this, when he goes to do that, my knee is almost coming into the guard already, as you can see. So I need to not be lazy. If I get stuck in the worst position, which is this, he's got the cross face, he's got the underhook, at the very least, I should be able to defend to not make the position worse, okay? If I have my hands on the outside here like this, it is gonna get worse because he's gonna set up arm lock here, cross face, you know, any number of chokes, Von Flue choke here, anything like that. So let's work, first of all, keeping our knees up so that the position doesn't get worse. And then let's work on getting our hands safe so that we don't get submitted. So I've got two problems. One is this hand is on the outside, which means he can connect his hand to my neck, connect his shoulder to my neck here, okay? And make life very difficult for me. And the second problem is this hand is in danger out here for an arm bar or whatever, because it's not in front of his face, okay? So where I want to be is here, but it's a long way back from there, so let's work on getting there. I'm going to use this hand first, and I'm going to like peel his shoulder, and as I do, I'm going to try and tuck my elbow into in between his belly and me. Now, if I don't get together, if he keeps this leg tight here like this, okay, I might just have to settle for pulling my chin free and tucking my chin in a little bit and getting my neck free. For a fraction of a second, if I try and get my hand in here like this, he's keeping his head here, it can be very, very difficult for me. So for a fraction of a second, I'm going to make like a couple of little micro bumps, and I'm going to try and wipe my hand in here like this. Notice that I'm not doing this and driving my hand back, which is going to lead to head and arm choke here, okay? What I'm doing is I'm gluing my elbow and I'm wiping across his face. But when I go to do that now, it's tight, so what I need to do, pull and lift for a fraction of a second here. You might not get it on the first go, it might have to be, try and bump and catch here like this, but you need to wipe that in front of the face. Now this is still not a solution, so what I gotta do, place my hand inside here, tuck, and feed my hand into position here like this, we call it frame. Okay, again, this is difficult, but we're gonna work on it, okay? So once again, feet come up, touch the ribs, pull, to wipe. Sometimes, guys, I need to go away to come back for a fraction of a second. I wipe in front of his face and get here. Now I'm going to place my hand more like towards his armpit, pull him inside here like this, and again I can boom, 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 and wipe my hand here, get my elbow inside. So all my two hands here like this. And this is where we're going to start from today. This is all we're going to do. So let's get our fundamental position right. 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, or 4. Notice the way that every time I put my feet to the mat, my knees came back up. We get to here. Okay? 2 hands inside, create this frame on his chest, like so. All good? Let's go. 3, 2, 1. So the goal is to create this more like open position, because obviously like when he goes here, when I go here, this is all about like him like putting the pressure down. And so what I want to do is like create space between my opponent and me, and that's like easiest way of describing what an escape is to create space, put space between you and your opponent. At the moment he's connected to me. So no matter what I do here, again, same thing, no matter what I do, as long as he remains connected like to my chest, I'm not going to be able to escape, okay? So that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try and create space. The best way to create space, the old school way of like, we used to always talk about frames, and we make a frame here like this, 2 hands against 1, or 2 hands, or sorry, I should say 2 hands working together in this position because I'm going to connect to my hands. But really like frames are more about like right angles or straight. So a good frame is like a post like here, or it's like right angles perfectly strong. Once your frame is in here like this, it's not really a frame anymore, it's just you getting your arms squashed against anything. So think about doing a plank. If you do a plank like in the gym, your arm's going to be 90 degrees. You let your arms like sag to here, you're just going to, you know, your arm's going to give out pretty quick. So when you get into this position, to try and make this position here is very, very strong. It can be difficult to do though because your opponent's going to be like here, your arm's going to be pretty compacted and compressed. So you have to be patient. You don't expect to like get out on the first move, but also you have to make use of when you get the space. So as soon as you get the space, you're going to try and make use of it. So once again, all my feet are coming back up here. Someone asked, can I do this? Can I cross my leg over? Yeah, but you're not going anywhere. Like it does stop the guy from getting him out and stuff like that, but when you cross your leg over like this, it's about as far as you're going. You're not going anywhere. I don't know of anybody who can do a successful bridge with like sitting like they're smoking a pipe. You know what I mean? Be weird, very unusual. And there's also a couple of moves that he can do, like if he laces. Can you put your right knee in between my legs there? No, don't step over. Put your right knee in here. Whoop. That's over. You can go for like these positions here. So I just prefer this. I'm just a little bit lazy, so don't do this. Okay? So peel, create that space. Again, you can be like aggressive with his neck. You need to be, because the pressure against the neck and the pressure against the jaw is what's lifting him. You don't have a hope in hell of bench pressing him off, so don't try. Instead, use pressure here like this. Okay? Boom, boom. Create your hand grip here. And now already you can see what's happened. Could you see that Lee's hands have become disconnected? And now I'm going to use my hip escape, so I'm going to move out. What I want to see you try to do, it's okay to put this foot on the mat now and try and move out, but I prefer to see this foot here do the work, and this foot come back here. This is what we're really going to work tonight. Try to create this position here. So, a lot of times when people like learn Jiu Jitsu, it's like all about moving on this back foot here and doing shit. But what do we do in the warm up? We use our bottom foot. So it's better to use that, because now when I bring this in, I'm going to be able to get my own hook much easier. So from here, let's work on this now. So heel, oh, already have my hand there. Whoops. So here, come inside. Boom again. Take this pressure here. If he's broken his grip already, cool. If he hasn't, now you've got a really good position to break his grip. Powerful punch away with your hands, and now move your head back. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our knee up and our elbow underneath. Don't bring your knee up without your elbow, because now you're just going to push your knee down. Easily to the other side. So I bring my knee up, elbow underneath, it's like tingling. And a good structure here. This is what we were working on in the warm-up. Getting here, like so. Okay, so now second phase. So one, heel, wide, catch here, big bridge, punch away. Get to here. Okay? Once you get to here, guys, I think we'll just focus on what you need to do. This hand is blocking the bicep, but it's open, not gripping. So when he moves the hand around, move around, I just move with it. Same thing, this hand here, but just make sure that this elbow is connected to your knee. All right? Now, if you need to move, you feel your partner's crowding you, or he's starting to roll you on your back. The only wrong thing to do is take this foot down now and try and move again. That's going to kill you. Okay, let's move back a little bit. So again, we're going to try to use our bottom foot. So watch again. You feel like you're being rolled on your back. It's your bottom foot. Okay, and when you have an opportunity, move your 2 feet between them and begin to regain. So the goal is once you get that knee into there, bottom foot only, okay? Yeah, let's go, give it a shot. 3, 2, 1. Someone just mentioned it, look, it feels a bit artificial, that position. It is artificial because it doesn't last for long. I'm not trying to get you to stay there and just sit beside your partner with your knee on there. Just the idea is that when you come up, or when your partner's starting to pass, which is what we're going to do now, that you're going to go to that position and think about putting this here as opposed to like, you can push sometimes, you can have your arms straight sometimes, that's a myth that you can't pull. The idea being that you're not just going to, here, when you get to this position, a lot of times, you know, people put their bottom knee in, and then what happens is the top knee just gets smashed down, and you got to pass it again and again and again. So after you get to here and you successfully do all the hard work, just get some weight down there, successfully do all the hard work, but you do this. Instead of doing this and leaving this out here, this is just a push at the knee, and he's passed again. So even though it feels a bit counterintuitive because you're not getting good contact on his hips, you're keeping your knee just up, I think it's better policy for more like, for better like retention of your guard and for better escapes, okay? So from here, when you're here like this now, what we're gonna do is just gonna, what I want you to think about is feeling where your opponent is. And if you feel that your opponent's going more back towards your legs, he's trying to get towards your lower body, what we did, which is any guard recovery you want here, okay? Close your guard, put your half guard in, and remember that like if you've been inside control, half guard is pretty much a win, so here, moving myself, okay, cool. Get the half guard, good success, okay? But what if he's going like more for your head? He's almost past your legs. The good news about this position, or what this position is supposed to give you, is that he has to really commit very high because your knee is so high. Back here, if he wants to go for my upper body, and if my leg is back here, it's very easy for him just to drop straight down. He just drops straight, but I'm not here. You got me, okay? But if I keep my knee up really, really high, he has to really commit to my head. I'm going to wrap the underhook, and we're going to go straight to our knees to run him over, okay? So from here, now he has to go for my head. He's got to move to my head, throw my underhook. Here, turn my knees, and a bit like we did last week, we can go to the back, or we can go for a knee tap to run. Okay? Everybody's happy you could do that after last week's class with the half guard, right? Let's do it a little bit different. Let's have him smash us then, and I'll turn around just the other way so that the camera can kind of see me, what I'm doing here with my feet. All right, let's have a look at this one. This time your partner's going to go really, really heavy. So I'm going to do this. Because now I've got a good structure here, I'm able to kick this leg and wrap this underhook, but he goes super heavy down flat. Low, 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 go to your knees now, Lee. Goes here. I've still got my block. I'm going to reach for his ankle. Twist his hips and come up. Okay, so I'm going to reach right down for his foot and start to turn his foot. Last week, remember, we turned his foot towards his hips, yeah? So, maybe you saw what I did? No. Well, watch closer. So, I'm here. He has to commit high. Goes to my head. I wrap his hip. Ankle goes, foot goes right down to the base of the ankle at the foot. Or my hand goes to his foot, sorry. And from here, I'm turning. As I come up. From here, we run the single. He might decide he's going to come up now. If he comes up, you just follow. Okay, I'm going to take him down another way. But again, you're coming off a dangerous position where he's nearly past your guard and you're coming up on the attack. The goal here is just to make his foot go like that. Okay? Now, last one, we felt that he was close to our feet, so we turned and we put the guard back in. Now we're going to wrap the underhook and come up. Yeah? All good? Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Right, so let's look at what we're doing. So first things first. it's about this person. We're trying to judge what they're doing, so we have no control over what they'll do except what we can do, right? So, if they're trying to smash you now, so let's switch positions. Just go up and down. So if you go, so here now, yes. So if I try and pass, what I want to do is get underhook and head control. Okay, that's the standard side control guard pass, right? Underhook and head control. But if he keeps his hands here like this, there's no underhook, there's no lower body. I'm perched on his knee here like this. So my only option is to go here. We'll try to turn here and go move my way around towards the head and then finish on top. And this position is going to allow Lee to go the other way. Okay, so he's going to feel that if my weight comes up here, he can go behind me. If my weight comes up here, he can bring his guard back here. Are we understanding now? Okay. I think like, maybe I didn't explain that well enough, or you guys aren't intelligent enough to know what I said. It's one or the other. Let's assume it's the former anyway, right? So from here, I'm passing here like this, but as I go over the head now, Lee can wrap the underhook. If he can come straight up, he can knee tap me straight away. All right, he came straight to his knees, he's wrapped up my hips, he can go for the back. Oh, but if from here, I get some weight down, I get inside here like this, but he still has the underhook, he can reach this hand down now to my ankle. And that's where we're going here. Does that make sense? Now he turns my ankle, and now I'm in trouble. I have to take my hands off the mat to get turned here. Okay, so it's the same thing as you did with the half guard last week. Does that make sense, everybody? I think it's more what the partner's doing on top than the person on bottom. Do you know what I mean? So I think like everybody's a bit confused because the partner on top isn't attacking the head. So let's attack the head a bit more if you're the person on top now, yeah? Let's go, 3, 2, 1. Put some weight down on them, like squash them. Really more weight. Join last week's Friday up with this week's, but bring it with the half guard. So honestly, I'd say between white belt and brown belt, I'm probably still not. This is like my go-to escape from guard here, from side control. So what I'm going to try to do is snag his foot now, but instead of using my hand, I'm going to use my leg. Okay, and we're going to pull him into that half guard we used last week, and we're still going to have the underhook. So it's almost like a trap. It's almost a good position to get into here, right? So you've probably been stuck in this before. So this is exactly what we're doing. So again, I get here, and let's actually go back a step. So let's have Lee stand. My opponent's passing my guard. If he passes now, he goes this way. That's my instinct to go here. Be able to move here like this. Okay? So this time my opponent passes here. He gets past my guard, but he has to, because of my good shape with my leg here like this, he has to commit very high. I'm able to get my underhook. Okay? So he has to commit high. I'm able to get my underhook. He's over. Snag here. And this is our position from last week. Okay? And we're ready here. Come up now with our feet. Okay? This can be difficult to get. It's like a tricky position to get. But again, I'm selling it because I'm getting that opportunity because my position at the start is good. Okay? So my instinct is that when they're passing, instead of like you know, oh no, here they come. So when he's passing my guard, my instinct is here. You know, good position, good frame with my bottom arm. By the way, guys, if his hand is close to my head, I keep my hand in that frame position here like this. Oh, yeah, try to move around. But if at all possible, I straighten this arm. And again, probably like, I think we said this all the time, like at the beginner's class. If you read a Jiu Jitsu book, it'd be like, don't straighten your arms because people can arm lock you. But you should never straighten your arms except for all of the times when you should straighten your arms, in which case you should straighten your arms. But other than that, don't straighten your arms until you have to, which is a lot. Right? Okay. But this is a good frame. We spoke about this at the start. Especially look, it's safe, it's on the ground. So it's very different for me, like him passing my guard, me up, my hand up here like this. So when I frame here, now look how far away his hand is from my head. That means he's got a long way to go, which gives me the opportunity when he does go and I feel it, to almost let him wrap it, take my foot, wrap up his heel here like this, and we're in our good half guard here from last week. Okay? So now we've got ankle pick, okay? We've got return to full guard. Let's do those again. We've got the ankle pick we just did with the ankle and the hand. We've got the half guard we just did, and we've got, if we feel them towards our legs, we've got guard retention. Okay? So we've got 3. Let's do that last one now, just that half guard one, and then we'll get into some drilling, some harder drilling, okay? Let's go, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're gonna do some live drilling, right? So we're gonna use our volume knob right for this one. So your volume goes 1 to 11, right? 11 is full on competition mode. 1 is pretty passive, what you were just doing. We're gonna dial up or dial down based upon how well your opponent's doing. So this requires 2 people now, okay? So what I'll do with Lee is I'll put Lee on the bottom. So Lee's gonna start in that position with the elbow inside the knee, here like this. I'm gonna start on my knees, but I can go to my feet. Now when I go to my feet, what I'm not gonna do is like go, you know, do my super cool Galvo style passing or something like that. When I go to my feet, I'm gonna still be trying to pass the guard, but my opponent's gonna be here. So the idea should be pretty much contact all the time, right? So I'm gonna start pretty much like chest on here. When we go, my job is to pass the guard to get to the side control. So my job is to get to here and settle heavy. If I settle heavy chest to chest for 4 seconds, we're gonna stop, we're gonna come back. Okay, my job is to try to do that, I need to try. After every success that I get, I'm gonna swap sides. So I'm gonna go on this other side and we're gonna start again. Okay? Success for him is retaining the guard, getting back to guard, getting half guard, or coming up to his knees and running me. Or even just coming up to his knees would be fine, right? Make sense? Half guard, full guard, up to your knees. After any success of that, I switch sides. If he's succeeding all the time, I turn up the volume. Okay? If he's succeeding none of the time, I turn down the volume. The idea is that he's trying to learn how to do it. And what happens is if I go in now, ready? Let's do a bad round. Ready? Should probably pick someone who actually isn't good at retaining their guard, but okay. This might actually be more hard than I thought. So if I stand there, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. How long did his position last? 5 seconds? Even though he did pretty well, like, it's not, it took me that position went after the 3 or 4 seconds. He went, panic! He's not going to remember his new position, right? Let's go to something else. Let's try it again, sorry. Poked me in the eye last week, so okay, so we switch sides now. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Switch. I can go a little harder now because he did it easy. And so on. Does that make more sense? Yeah, so this way he's going to succeed sometimes. Sometimes I'm going to pass his guard as well. I have to. Okay? Especially if I dial it up. So let's say if you do 10 reps, 7 times he should retain his guard or get to his knees. Any harder than that, you're going too hard. Yeah? I always say, like, when we do a drill like this, in the 3 minutes, what should really happen is that I almost never win. But the most important thing happens is he always does what we're supposed to do. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so for this person on top, if you know your super cool new headstand pass or whatever it is, cartwheel pass, today is not the day. We'll do it on another day. We'll put it in your highlight reel, we'll stick it up on YouTube. You can feel really good about yourself. But for now, just focus on what we're doing, do you know what I mean? So give him those pressures that we want, and give him those passes that we want, and then eventually we'll get to use that position more. Does that make sense, everybody? Yeah? Pretty happy out. Okay, so it's a 3-minute round. One person's on bottom for the whole 3 minutes. All we're doing is switching side to side. Buzzer goes, switch top to bottom. Buzzer goes again. Find a new partner around your own size. All good? Let's go. 3, 2, 1.